Hi. I imagine that you, like me, might sometimes open your sketchbook and be staring down a blank page and wonder, what the heck should I sketch and paint on that page? And you want that feeling that comes after you sketch, that feeling of happiness and relaxation, um, that feeling of having done something creative that makes us all feel so good, but you just can't find anything that really sparks joy or makes you want to sketch it. And in those moments, it's really hard to just say, oh, I'm going to kind of go grab something and work on it and put it in my sketchbook, because oftentimes we hear this voice saying, who cares about that thing? It's not worth sketching. Maybe it's not interesting enough. So I want to just show you something that I've done to sort of give myself a fallback. I have something that I just can return to over and over again, and it's birds. So just about 6 months ago, I started kind of sketching birds for fun and in a class, and realized that they were a shape that I didn't get tired of making. So I started to ping back to that whenever I needed or wanted time in my sketchbook, but I couldn't find anything to sketch or anything that was good enough. Think of anything that I felt like was good enough to sketch. And what's happened is I've sketched pages and pages of birds, and it's given me a fallback on days when I want that good feeling, but I don't know how to get it or what to put on the page. And also, I've built up bird sketches, so now I feel more invested in them and actually look for opportunities to sketch birds. Sometimes when I go on an artist date to a museum, I go specifically to a selection of birds, so that I can sit and sketch those, because I feel like I'm building a catalog of bird sketches of my own, which feels more interesting than just random things that I'm putting into a sketchbook. Also at home, I've found a resource that I can use to sketch birds from. So I'm going to just share with you a few of the pages of my bird sketches and this resource that I found, and maybe that'll be an encouragement for you to pick a subject that might interest you, for a little while, that you can kind of dig deeper into. It might be something as simple as you have a huge coffee mug collection and you're going to catalog it. And anytime you face a blank page and can't figure out what to sketch, you're going to sketch one of those mugs or sketch one again. Maybe it'll be a particular flower or plant that you're interested in. Or maybe it's all the sneakers that everybody in your life wears, and you've always got something to sketch when you want that feeling of creativity. Let me share a few of my pages with you. So I've got a few of my sketchbooks here, and also a little tiny sketchbook that I created, a little zine. So this is a spread from a museum, and I was just interested in this bird, the northern carmine bee eater, and that kind of got me started. And then I came home and did a little bit of collage on the page. That was kind of interesting. Um, and then I returned to the museum. This was a museum here in Boston, and I said, you know what? I had so much fun sketching that bird. I'm just going to look for birds. Well, and obviously one big whale or shark. And I started sketching birds there. And I, instead of wandering around this museum wondering what to sketch, I said, no, you know what? I'm sketching birds. Wonderfully, when I made little mistakes, like I made a mistake here, so I just drew a little crown on that bird's head. And I noted things down. I grabbed kind of details that I thought were interesting. I would note down the name and sometimes a little bit of information. But it felt good to have a focus on these birds. Then later, I sort of got into looking for birds. So I started looking for them outside. And even just sometimes randomly sketching them. And sometimes even just sketching them so that later I could come back with color, right? So some of these sketches are actually happening from previous sketches. I'm not even there observing the bird or the taxidermy that I had sketched from at first, but instead I'm actually just sketching from a sketch that I'd already created. So here's that Northern Carmine bee eater again, and I'm sketching it and even pulling some of my collage elements and sketching those, right? Same thing here. I've got a sketch of a bird, and then later I'm just going back, and instead of looking at that bird again in an image or a photograph, I'm sketching from my previous sketch just for fun. And it's great sometimes to do just sketches, if that's what you have time for, 10 minutes to sketch. And then you can come back on another day when you want to have time in your sketchbook, but you can't think of what to sketch. You can have time just fun just adding color to things. So another thing started to happen, and that was that I started wanting to look for more birds to sketch. And that's where this resource came in really handy. And no matter what subject you choose to make your kind of fallback subject, you're always going to be able to find some sort of resource that can give you fodder for those sketches. So it might be books, or if you're into sketching sneakers, maybe you're going to go to the mall and you're going to go to a sneaker shop and you're going to stand there and sketch sneakers or take pictures of them. Maybe you're going to go online and find images. But it's wonderful because you actually add to your creativity beyond the sketching and the painting. Then you're invested in something else. You're doing other like research, which just adds to your whole creative process. So I found this wonderful natural history book that's one of my kids, and look at this. There's page after page of great birds to sketch from. So even like in the middle of the night, if I can't sleep, I can get my sketchbook and open this book and start grabbing birds, shapes, details, silhouettes, just interesting stuff. I can read a little bit about them. I can Google for more information if I want more information. So I've had so much fun after that first encounter sketching birds in my class. And that was just a couple hours, maybe a few hours outside of class. But sometimes I sketch something and I sort of never sketch it again, right? I'm sure that happens to all of you. It was wonderful, though, to find this anchor of something that was fun to sketch and then take it further. And now I feel like I have so many bird sketches that I want to sketch them. I'm more and more comfortable sketching them, and they're more interesting to me. So just a little tip for you: if you have blank pages in your sketchbook and you want the feeling that you get when you sketch, feel so wonderful and relaxed and creative, but you can't figure out what to sketch, maybe look through your old pages and see if there's something that resonates with you and sketch it again. Maybe sketch it 50 more times. All right, take care. I hope you get into your books. Bye.